Yes, this is Igor. Welcome to this training. I'm so happy to see you. It's Thursday. We're just crossed the hour mark, so we're about to get going. Now, I'm really excited about this training because we're going to be talking about something I don't really talk about much because I don't consider myself to be an expert at it. We're going to talk about social media. And if you've been following me around for more than a day, you know that I'm not a big fan of social media because, it sucks in a lot of time and attention. And, for me, that's like I get easily addicted to things. So I find myself spending hours and hours and hours every day on social media and not really achieving much, not really getting anything done, and so I end up becoming frustrated. But the other side of that coin is that there are literally billions of people every single day browsing social media websites, spending a ton of time and spending a ton of money on social media platforms. And that's a big opportunity, an opportunity that you can be taken advantage of, an opportunity that if you're smart, you can use to build yourself a successful online business, whether you have an offline business and you really want to establish it online, or if you don't have a business and don't have a product and you're looking to start and create an online business, you can actually do it with the right social media strategy. So that is why today I've invited my friend Paul to come in and talk to you about how to use social media to make money, how to use social media to actually cash in on one of the biggest opportunities available to us at this day and age, in my opinion, because more and more people flock to social media. There's now been generations of people who have started using social media as children and now are becoming young adults, and they're still kind of spending all this time on their mobile devices, and a lot of attention is flowing to social media platforms. The richest companies in the world are social media companies. It's Meta, Facebook, it's Google, who I don't really consider a social media platform, but still they command attention, right? They command online attention. TikTok, probably the biggest platform right now. YouTube, that's owned by Google, is another social media platform. There's Twitter, that's been going strong now for well over 10 years. So there's a huge opportunity for you to go in and start making money with social media without any products or business experience. And if you already have a business, you can scale your existing business using social media. So that is why I brought in somebody who actually knows what they're talking about when it comes to social media and digital marketing, my friend Paul O'Mahony. So again, no further babble for me. I'm really only waiting for Paul to come in. I know that he's ready to go, and I just want to make sure we're all in. There's good sound, visuals. So allow me to introduce Paul O'Mahony, your instructor for today. All right, so Paul, take it away.
Thank you so much for that intro. I'm really, really glad to be here and very honored that you've given me this opportunity. Type into the chat, that's me, if you are ready to make 2022 your best year yet, right? Type in, that's me, if you're feeling it right now. And the big thing is here, right? Even if you have a concern about social media, this is really, really important that you grasp. Even if you've got a real fear of social media, that you really don't like it whatsoever, no problem. This is totally for you. We're here today to rethink social media and how to stop wasting time online and how to start earning some serious money from that while having fun, of course. And even if you don't have a business, you don't have your own products, you don't have your own services, right? You're not even sure where to start. This is 100% for you. Right? I'm the guy who was sat in an audience over a decade ago from a corporate background, knowing nothing about the internet, incredibly skeptical, and now I'm the person who wants to share with you that journey, because I'm absolutely certain if you're able to make it onto this webinar this evening, and I've been told you're an incredible community, so I'm excited to do this, you are more than capable of doing this. So type in excited in the chat if you are ready to go and excited about this. And while you're doing that, let me get my camera on here. Wonderful. And please let me know where you are calling in from. I see straight away Vancouver, Canada, South Africa, Well, no matter where you are in the world, a huge welcome. I'm so excited to have you here, and I am about to introduce you to a whole new world that's going to get you so excited about the opportunity that is sitting in front of you right now. You just may not have been aware of it. So let me start by asking you a question. How many of you right now, type in yes if it's difficult for you to make money online? Type in yes if right now it's difficult for you to make money online. Just type in yes into the chat if that is the case for you right now. Okay, lots of yeses. Okay, now my second question to you is, how many days is it since you last purchased something online? How many days ago is it since you last purchased something online? Let me know in the chat. If it was today, for example, type in 0. If it was yesterday, 1. If it was a week ago, type in 7. Okay, here's the thing. Lots of 1s, 7, a month ago, not sure. Well, here's the good news. Here's the good news. You guys are already experts at making money online for other people. that's the problem for other people. If you already know how to spend money online, you are already halfway there. Buying and selling is the exact same transaction. It just depends on which side of the fence that you are sitting on. So welcome to this training, because I want to share with you how to stop wasting time online and how to start earning money from the devices that you are using right now. Type into the chat, me, please, if you are super interested in learning how you can turn something you're already spending time in every single day into a regular and ever increasing income for you. Let me know in the chat. Now, there is a slight delay in the chat, actually, just I see from when I ask to when you respond. So my name, as I say, is Paula Mahoney. For those just getting in right now, you're hugely welcome. And I'm very excited to share this training with you at this particular time more than anything. And why? Well, because of this device, the smartphone, right? It literally should be worth its weight in gold to you, but it's not right now for most people. It is quite simply the world's #1 addiction, right? It's the device we use to wake us up in the morning. We carry it around with us all day long in our handbags, and that's just the men, right? We bring it into the smallest room in the house, our bathroom, where nobody or nothing else is welcome. And what is the last thing we do at night? We kneel down by our bedside, not to give thanks anymore, but to simply look for our charger for our phone to plug it in. We couldn't care less if our partner is charged first thing in the morning, but our idea of starting a day with a phone that's not charged is literally a nightmare for us. Type in guilty right now if you have a phone sitting within 12 inches of your hands right at this very moment. Type in guilty if that is the case for you, right? It's crazy. It's so common that people don't even think that this is a really strange activity. But the good news is this. While this is the #1 liability of most people on the planet, in that it takes money out of their pockets, it takes precious time out of their lives, there are 5.6 billion users of smartphones on the planet right now. There's only 7.8 billion people on the planet, and 5.7, 5.8 billion of them are using smartphones. That means you can literally use that exact same device to become your #1 asset, putting money into your pocket, putting precious time back into your life while everybody else continues to use it as is. Type in excited if you're excited about learning this right now, today, this 4-step process. Type in excited, right? And by the way, the more you engage, the more you interact with me, the more I'm going to give, the more energy that I get from this. So I cannot wait to share this information with you today. And just to show you what's happening right now, I've taken some screenshots from earlier in the year. The last 4 weeks, $424,000. The last 12 months, $2.662 million. $424,000. This is just one website. Let's go back in the middle of the first wave of COVID. July 20, $232,000. June, $241,000. May, $578,000 US dollars. April, $493,000. February, $329,000. It's as if I'm winning the lottery every single month, right? And believe me, I'm not showing this to impress you. I'm showing it to you to show real life, actual results from just one of many websites that we have to get you excited, to get you super excited, enthusiastic, and say, wow, I've got nothing like this in my life. Okay, I might win the lottery once, but I'm not going to win it every single month, okay? So, and here's another screenshot from another website. The last 7 days, 204,000. The last 4 weeks, $500,000. The last 12 months, 1.6 million. Here's another one. Last 4 weeks, 70,000. Last 12 months, 2.14 million. Type into the chat right now. Show me the money. Show me the money if you want to get learning right now how you can start on your very first steps to creating complete ownership of your financial destiny right here, right now, today, with this Irish guy speaking to you right at this very moment. Thank you so much. You're brilliant. You're really, really engaging in the chat, which is wonderful. Well, let's go and let's look at exactly how we might go about doing that, because it's all about learning how. So who is this for? Type in 1 in the chat if you own your own business currently. Type in the number 1 if you own your own business. Okay, great. About 25% of you. Type in 2 if you are an influencer. And by that, I mean you are not shy of being in front of the camera. You have a message to share. You really want to get out there personally on social media. You actually want to be the star, right? You're a freak of nature. Only about 10% of you are probably in that category, right? Where you actually want to use social media as it was intended. I'm going to ask, though, about who's number 3 here. Type in 3 if, right? You don't even like social media. In fact, you wonder what is wrong with people, the fact that they use it every day, that they spend their lives looking at other people's lives. But if you could somehow make money from it, without having to have experience, without having to have a business, without having to have your own products or services, without you having to quit your job, without you having to be out there publicly taking selfies, taking pictures of yourself, and constantly putting yourself out there. If you could just do all of that without the public notoriety, hide in the background and make the money. Type in 3 if you would love to learn how to create a side income that could actually match and massively surpass your current income. Type in 3 if that's the category you fall into. I see some of you are saying you fall into more than one. Yeah, that can absolutely happen. Well, here's the thing. I personally started in the bracket of number 3. To this day, I don't even like social media. Right? I don't even like it. Not the way that it's publicly used, spending people's lives looking at other people's lives. But today we're here to rethink social media, to go from being the consumer and the spender to being the producer and the earner. Who's ready to swap sides? Who's ready to swap sides and start earning money from this rather than spending money on it? Of course you are. Fantastic. Well, you are in the right place. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about myself as we move forward, but not just yet. I want to get straight into the information for you here and straight into the 4-step, simple step process that we're going to be walking through together here today. Okay, so here is the first step. Just above my head there is finding the right niche or niche for my friends in California there. That the money is already being spent. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to make this difficult. Business is hard, so we don't want to do anything that's difficult. We go where the money is flowing. We go where the problems exist. That makes step 2 very simple. Once you pick a problem that is very prevalent across society, it makes it easy to find people looking for those solutions. That's when we go to social media, when we have clarity on what it is we're going to help people with. The third step is where we invite people to leave their contact details in exchange for some form of free gift that helps them on their path to getting the results that they want to get. So for example, if you're helping them with weight loss, it might be a 5-step guide on how to lose weight. Okay, eat less, move more, drink water, and repeat step 1 and 2. And Then the fourth and final step, which is the magical step, is how do you turn that email database or email list into an income stream that can be generating an ever increasing income with you, not just today and tomorrow and next week and next month and next year, but next decade and beyond. What I'm teaching you today is something that will last indefinitely in our lifetimes, because we are dealing in certainties. We're going to places where problems are never going to go away. So let's start with that topic about picking your niche or your niche in an area where you're certain that it's going to work for you. So in terms of finding that niche, what I suggest you do is listen carefully to the words of Zig Ziglar, who says, you can have everything in life you want if you would just help enough other people get what they want. Do you hear what he says? Help others get what they want. The focus is on others. Why? Because others have your money. And if you want to get your money from other people, you need to give them what they want. So this is why so many people get distracted and misled and misguided, because there's a lot of talk about, pursue your passion, follow your passion, and your money is just going to kind of fall from the sky. But the truth of the matter is, people don't care what you're passionate about. They care what they are passionate about. So give them what they want. Take the pressure off, and finally take leadership and ownership in your own financial situation. So here are 3 areas that we know for absolute certainty that people will always have these problems. They want to be healthier, they want to be wealthier, and they want to be happier. Healthier, wealthier, happier. Okay, healthier, wealthier, and happier. Now, these 3 niches are a fantastic place to start, because first of all, they're addictive. The healthier you are, the more addictive you become to health. The wealthier you are, the more addicted you are to it. The happier you want to be, the more addicted you are in that pursuit of happiness. Secondly, there is no one size pill that fixes this forever. You can't just go to the shop and say, hello, I'd like a product to make me healthy forever, please. Right? There's always more products. There's always the next level, the next step. And it's the same with wealth and the same with happiness. And thirdly, hundreds of thousands of products already exist with websites that work, that convert, that people are spending millions of dollars on every single day right now, that you, even as a complete beginner, can plug in and start selling today. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you can buy something today, it means you can sell something today. It's absolutely incredible that more people don't know about this, but that is to your advantage. And again, I want to commend you and thank you for being here, because what I want you to do right now at home is make a mental note or a physical note, if you're taking notes, about which of these areas will you focus on to begin with. Only one to begin with, mind you. Just pick one to get started. Just follow one niche until successful. Okay, you can even type it into the chat if you wish. Now, that brings us on to step 2, social media, right? So we pick our niche to have absolute certainty and success, where the problems exist all the time. Then we go to social media, why do we go there? Because that's where people hang out, okay? That's where people consistently hang out with problems and complain about their problems. And here is, in very simple terms, the model that I want to share with you here. It worked 10 years ago, it works today, it will work in 50 years from now. Why? Because it's based around absolute certainties. In a world where everything seems to be getting crazier and crazier by the day, what if I told you the business model we're about to look at is actually based on key foundation stones that are never going to change? They are never going to change. And I know that needs some explaining, because you've been brought up to believe that everything that we know is going to change. Well, think about this. One thing that I know for sure is that people will never stop having problems. That's never going to change, right? People are always going to have problems. So that's why this person here on the left with the green jigsaw puzzle, they're meant to represent a normal person with normal problems, and people will never stop having problems. That's a certainty. So that's a great place to start in your business, is dealing in certainties. People will always have problems. On the right-hand side, we have the person with the blue jigsaw puzzle. Now, why is that important? Well, this person, right above my head right now, this is your entrepreneur, your business owner. There's a 96% chance of failure as a business owner in a traditional business in the first 5 to 10 years. A 96% chance of failure. This to me is incredible. These are smart people. They've got business degrees. They've been to college. They've got MBAs, and they have only a 4% chance of success. Seems to me that there's something strange going on there, right? Entrepreneurs are the only people we know that work 80 hours a week to avoid a 40-hour-a-week job, right? As Laurie Greiner says, right? It's an incredible quotation, but it's so true. So if we know that most business owners are going to fail, why would we start in the first place? Well, first of all, we're not going to set up a traditional business. We're not going to learn how to have a 4% chance of success. We're going to learn how to have a 100% chance of success. Type in 100% into the chat right now if you want a 100% chance of success, that you win every single time. How do you do that? You introduce only the best selling and products and services that exist to the people looking for them, right? It's so obvious you might wonder why you hadn't heard it before. Just give the people what they want. Get your ego out of the way. You don't need to create the products. You don't need to create the services. They're already there. If you have them, fantastic. I can help you with that too. But at least start opening your eyes to being able to introduce other products that people already want to the people looking for them, and give yourself a 100% chance of success. And if you're thinking, but Paul, hang on a second, if it's this easy, why isn't everybody doing it? Well, rather than looking at everybody, let's look at the people that are doing extremely well right now. Some of the biggest companies in the world. Uber, for example, the world's largest taxi company. They don't own any vehicles. Facebook, the world's largest content provider, doesn't create any. Alibaba, the world's largest store, doesn't have any inventory. Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation provider, doesn't own any real estate, right? How crazy is that? Booking.com, Trivago.com, Hotels.com, right? Ironically, they don't own hotels. Amazon don't write books. eBay don't create products. They sell other people products. Even banks. Banks don't print money. They take money off the first person in the line and they sell it to the person second in the line. They sell other people's money. Type in aha if you have just had a moment where you thought, oh my good gracious me, how have I never noticed this until now, that some of the most successful companies in the world are making their money by other people doing the difficult work. They are the matchmakers. And the best part is, anything on Amazon.com you could be selling. Anything on eBay you could be selling. Right? Anything on Booking.com, you can actually promote holidays and hotel rooms to other people and be making money. The reason you don't do this is because the people around you don't do this. So by default, you start to think it's crazy, it's difficult, it's a scam, it's the internet. Stay away. And at the exact same time, that exact same person goes straight back to the internet and says, well, can you give me my credit card there? I want to buy something. It's the strangest thing ever. But where most people in the world have a big problem with taking money out of the internet, they have no problem putting all their money into the internet. And that's the good news for you. Because if it's this great, why isn't everybody else doing it? Because quite simply, they are the buyers. They are the people putting all of the money into the internet. You're about to learn how you can take money out of it, right? Because that's the big question. That's where I started from, believing, well, come on now, the internet's a scam, right? Everybody knows that. And then you go straight there to book your holiday, your flights, whatever it is, your birthday present, your anniversary gifts, even buying a home, right? And buying cars. This is what people do, but they have a major issue around selling on it. Well, you add in COVID to the mix, and guess what? Things have started to change even more dramatically, because now there is more money being spent on the internet than ever before. Now, this isn't the amount of money being spent on the internet. This is something completely different. $1.6 trillion. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because so many people believe that the internet is somehow a scam. But I believe we're looking in the wrong direction. Why? Well, $1.6 trillion, you know what this is? This is the outstanding student loan debt in the US alone. It's the US government's #1 asset is outstanding student loan debt. The average graduate in the US, if you look at this here for a second, how much they have to pay. They pay for a middle of the road college, $37,000, $430 per year for a 4-year program, up to $48,000 per year, right? For one of the more high profile places, which if you just think about it, is absolutely insane. But if enough people do it, we don't see it as a problem. And in fact, here's another example. The average amount of interest paid on debt by people globally in a lifetime is $600,000. So if you're wondering where your money is, you might have to look in a different direction. But think about it. Like, what do we encourage our kids to do? As soon as they turn 17, 18, 19, we encourage them to go to school. We encourage them to get into debt. And then they go backwards financially. Right? I've never met an 18-year-old that's better off financially than an 8-year-old. Right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds are better off financially than 21, 22, 23-year-olds. But because it's so normalized, nobody thinks it's crazy. That we set up an entire educational system so that people, the more they learn, the less they earn, and the more backwards they go financially, the more enslaved they become. For me, it's time to rethink that. We can't keep that going. And as parents, what do we encourage our children to do when they get into their 20s? We say it's time you got responsibility and got yourself a mortgage. Mortgage comes from the word mortir, meaning death. Mortgage literally means acquiring debt until death, right? You can see why mortgage brokers are quite happy that Latin isn't that well understood nowadays. Would you like to borrow some debt until death? I've got plenty of it here, right? It's crazy. We go backwards as quickly as possible. And just because enough people do it, as I say, we think it's normal. I'm here to solve that riddle for you by building an online business, and to simplify it further, to build an email list or a mailing list or a database. It's all the same thing, different language for the same thing. And the beauty of this is you have absolute certainty around how much you can make and what you make, because you build your email list to the size of the financial goals you want to match. So my challenge for you today now is, you tell me what your monthly salary is in US dollars, and I suggest that that's your first target. So for example, if you're earning $3,000 right now monthly, I suggest that you grow your online business, that's your first target to match that. Now, how do you do that? Okay, so just type that into the chat. Where are you at right now? What's your target here? Is it 2,000 a month? Is it 500 a month? Is it 5,000 a month? Is it 10,000 a month, right? It depends on where you live. It depends how many children you have, or dollar munchers, as I call them. Depends how many of them are hanging around the house, right? But the beauty of this is you can decide on how much you make by the size of the email list that you build. Because, for example, specifically, you should on average make $1 per person in your email list every single month. Okay, $1 per person on your email list every single month. So if you want to make an extra $500 a month, you build a list of 500 people. If you want to build a list of 2,000 people a month, $2,000 a month, you build a list of 2,000 people. Build a list of 10,000, you make $10,000 a month on average, conservatively. By the way, I've turned the chat to private here so that it's coming directly to me. I can see all of your answers: Pedro, Shirley, Rebecca, Lena, Leonard, Rishta. So please keep them coming. I can see them all in here. Really appreciate them. Thank you, Victoria. Okay, so $1 per person per month. So you decide how much you want to make. So let's go over that again. On average, you make $1, let's say, to spend on collecting an email address. So let's say you run a Facebook ad, which we'll talk about later, and it costs you $1 to get somebody's email address. And on average, you're going to make from that email address $1 per person per month. How? We'll talk about later. That means you spend $1 in outlay. You spend a dollar in outlay to make $12 back in the year. So as a return on investment, that's 1,100%. 1,100%. And that's not all. You can create as many of these income streams as you like. Completely independent income streams. Right? People are going crazy in the last few years about cryptocurrency and the potential returns, etc. And I go, yeah, great. But there's a massive opportunity for downside. Right? What goes up must come down, especially when you're talking about trading in the markets. But what if there wasn't a downside? What if all you're spending is $1 and it's all upside and you can have as many of these as you like, and at any point, if your ad campaign stops working, you just press pause. You literally press pause. Imagine if you were watching a stock price fall and you said, God, if I could just pause that right now. Of course, that sounds crazy. But when it comes to your online business, that's exactly what you can do, and why I am here to share with you why you must have at least one of these online businesses in your life, because it puts you in control. It puts you in charge. You have no risk. It's all upside. You can never wake up and say, where's my money gone? What happened? Because it's always in your control. And you're solving the problems that people have every day of the week. So what we're doing with social media is we're not trying to annoy people. We're not trying to get in their face and, you know, things that you see on social media that just aren't good. Instead, we're doing the opposite. We want to be private. We want to collect people's contact details. We're going to build up an email list, and the money is then made in private. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you now, and you think, okay. So it's not about selfies and taking pictures of my children and my dinner, right? It certainly is not. So again, whatever your preconceptions are around social media, you can forget those, because this is a whole different story. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about myself, if you don't mind. I want to briefly just go through a backstory of myself. Yes, this is what I look like, of course. And I'm very fortunate in that I didn't always live the life that I do right now. I live in Cyprus half of the year. I live in Ireland the other half of the year. And I get to travel when possible over 100 times a year, flying across the globe. And I can tell you, I'm not living my dream, because this was never even a dream for me. I never even thought this would be possible. I worked in a corporate job for 9 years, and I was following what was supposed to be the path for most people. But the thing is, I very nearly didn't do any of this. I thought if you had to have an online business that, well, simply put, that, you know what, you'd need to be, you know, really good at business, that you'd need parents or at least entrepreneurial experience in your family, that you'd need your own products or services, or you'd need to have done business in school. I did none of those. I don't spend my day in front of a computer pressing buttons, running ads, right? That's the beauty of this. I'm not here today to teach you how to get a new job for yourself. You can find other people who will do this for you for $2 to $3 an hour. You train them up, you show them what to do. They're even more qualified than you are to do it. That's what's so exciting about this, is you learn it once, then you get somebody else to do it for you, and then you just keep an eye on it. I mean, how cool is that? Now, this very nearly didn't happen for me, because I was going to say, I have a picture of me at an event. That's the wrong picture. This is the picture of me at the event in Ireland, in Dublin, in 2009, when for the first time I became aware of this world. It was a multi-speaker event. Type in yes if you've been to an event before where there's lots of speakers speaking at it. Just type in yes into the chat. Well, it was all American speakers primarily. And I love this picture, because I always think I look a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights. I'm in shock, because all of these speakers are talking about how they're making millions on the internet, like millions. So I'm checking with the people next to me, saying, this has to be a scam, right? I mean, couldn't possibly be true. And I'm Irish. So if there's any Irish people here today, you will know we are the most skeptical people on the planet. We are so skeptical, right? We just don't believe anybody, right? And if you don't believe we're the most skeptical people, it doesn't matter. We don't believe you anyway. So these American speakers were doing their thing, you know, high five and, you know, say I and all this kind of stuff. And one person said, turn to the person next to you and tell them they're awesome. Like, what? Is that guy serious? Does he actually think we're going to do this like in real life? Another guy said, turn to your neighbor, turn to the person next to you, right? And start to massage their shoulders. We're like, what? We're Irish. We don't touch our own family, let alone complete strangers. What are you talking about? To this day, we still get confused when we see the signs up on the wall for keep social distancing, keep 2 meters apart. We're like, why do we need to get closer together? We don't understand why we need to get closer together. We don't enjoy alcohol because we like drinking. We do it because we need to procreate and get close enough to create the next generation, right? So this is kind of the attitude that we took into this event. Some people were even walking out. And then one speaker came in and he stood on stage and he said something that forever changed my attitude. He saw all the arms folded. He saw the negativity in the room. And he said, He said, hands up those of you who are in your teens. And he said, keep your hand up if you're in debt. And they took their hands down. He said, hands up those of you that are in your 20s. Now keep your hands up if you're in debt. And all of them kept it up. Then he said, now those of you in your 30s, put up your hand. Keep your hand up if you're in debt. And all the people in their 30s kept their hand up. And he went through all the following decades. And the people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s all kept their hands up because they were still in debt. And he said, you think we're here to brainwash you? When ironically, you are so brainwashed that you've got this whole thing wrong right from the start. He said, you have been brought up to believe that wealth is connected to the letters you get after your name. In other words, qualifications. He said, you spent 20 years and lots of your parents' money to get letters after your name, like MBA, BSc, BS, BA, whatever it is. He said, I found as a high school dropout that a much more accurate measure of wealth, rather than letters after my name, are numbers in the bank account. And I'll never forget when he said it, because it was like being hit by a sledgehammer across my chest, because he was 100% accurate. I was 30 years of age. I had a corporate job. I had my BMW. I had a mid-terraced house. The problem was, if you looked into my bank account, I was 300,000 in debt. I didn't own my car. I didn't own my house. I was what I refer to as rich poor. Now, you might right now might have a reaction that I would call a gremlin. And you can feel free to type in gremlin if this is happening right now, where a part of you is going, yeah, but so does everybody else. So does everybody else. Because that's an instant defense mechanism that your ego puts up when you start to challenge it. When you start to think, hang on a second, that's true. Why have I spent 30 years going 300,000 into debt? It doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense if enough people do it, and you dismiss things like the internet as a scam. And here's what we all say, but everybody's in the same boat. What's the problem? The problem is it's the Titanic, and it's sinking. How ironic that the Titanic was made in Ireland, right? It's sinking. And everybody has been surrounded in water. It's coming up to their necks, and they look around and say, what's the problem? No problem. Look, everybody else is in the same boat. But what about crazy Johnny there getting into the lifeboat? Should we get in with him? No, don't mind crazy Johnny and his crazy ideas. That's what's happened in society. We measure our sanity by the sanity of those around us. But what most people don't realize is that we live in an asylum, and we're surrounded by people doing crazy things because we've been doing it so long, we don't consider it crazy. Even Einstein said this many, many years ago. He said his insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But that is the definition of most people's lives. But no more of the badness, because that can all change today. At that event in 2009, I invested in 3 programs. On my credit card, I stuck 10,000 euros. And I bought 3 programs learning about how to make money on the internet. I had no background on it. I knew nothing about it. But within 1 year, myself and my business partner reached our first target of $1 million. And that was for complete newbies, complete beginners who knew nothing about social media, nothing about the internet. And I'm here to share that with you today, because if you actually look at the world's richest people, most of their money is generated on the internet too. But something needs to be said before we go any further. Those of you that say, yes, you've been to multi-speaker events before, the one thing that I found really weird at that event in Ireland was that every single speaker seemed to have this incredible, like, rags to riches story. So just so you don't feel left out, I'm going to embellish my own story just a little bit. This is where I am from, Limerick in Ireland. I'm literally like 2 miles from that castle right now. So, you know, their story is normally that they were born in a hospital, they got mixed up as babies, they were rescued by wolves, and they set up somehow they got rescued by wolves, and that they checked into a Betty Ford clinic years later, and suddenly they went on to make millions on the internet. And I remember thinking, has any normal person ever made money on the internet? But here's my story. Born in Limerick, there's the river, of course, from where I was rescued as a child. There's the grassy bed where I was raised by wolves. Set up my first little heroin factory there. Fortunately, the National Geographic Channel TV crew came across me, checked me into a detox clinic, and at age 18, I got released, found Jesus, found a Wi-Fi connection, found a laptop, and went on to make millions on the internet. Now I own the castle, and, right? That's kind of the standard crap that you hear over and over again. The irony, of course, is none of that is true, right? Okay, here's me in the 80s. Yes, this is true. Don't laugh. This is actually me as a 7-year-old. You might think, wow, God, what happened to him? Time hasn't been very kind to poor old Paul. Well, what do you think happened? Alcohol happened. And of course, if you're Irish and you follow the advice of following your passion, this is where you end up living for most of the 1990s. But I got lucky because one day by my trolley, somebody left a laptop with a connection to the internet, and I went on to make millions, right? That's the story you expect. Truth of the matter is, none of that's true, right? Both my parents, both are teachers. So imagine that for a moment. As you're running home from school each day, you realize, what's the point in running? There's 2 more waiting for me, right? Everything, summer, Christmas, everything involved exams and studying. So it shouldn't come as a surprise to you that that's exactly what I ended up doing, going to college, getting myself a permanent job. You might remember those. They were all the rage a few years ago. Turns out they weren't so permanent. And I ended up working for that corporate environment, went 300,000 in debt and negative equity, ended up in this event. And that was when my life took a complete change. I want you at this very second in time to grab your smartphone, and I want you to take a selfie of you looking at me, looking at you, because everybody's life changes at one distinct moment when they make a decision, when they say, no more, I'm not willing to put up with that crap anymore. I'm not willing to keep wondering about what if and discussing missed chances in the past. It all comes down to a precise moment in time when you say, that's it. Today is the day. This is my moment. I commit to not going back anymore, to stepping forward into the new year with new results, new outcome, new successes. And I'm not even going to tell anybody else. I'm going to do this. Type into the chat right now, it's my time. If you know right now that it's your time to make some serious changes, right, while having fun at the same time. And that's what's so crazy in this post-COVID world, is that you can actually do this in a way that it's never been easier. You just got to make that simple decision. So I want you to take this photograph of you looking at me, because this will be your before picture. This will be the picture on your phone that you will go back to, and you'll say, that was the day that I took that decision to change how things are moving forward. For me, it was in February 2009. I've gone on to make over $50 million since that day. That's not Rand, that's 50 million US dollars. And no story would be complete, of course, without this guy. When I went to these workshops that I paid for in Dublin, one of the names that came up over and over again was this guy called Tony Robbins, and I'd never heard of him before. So I asked my boss if he would pay for me to go to see this guy, to work on my leadership skills. And he said, yeah, sure. He didn't know it was in New York City on St. Patrick's Day, right? So over I went, St. Patrick's Day, 3,000 people at it. 3,000 people, Americans primarily. And they were all going for it. When Tony Robbins says, "I," everybody was saying, "I." And he came out on stage and he said, I'd never seen him before, so I didn't know how popular he was. He basically started, as he does in his nice, quiet voice, saying, "Everybody, I want you to jump around like complete lunatics." And to my absolute shock and horror, that was all it took. 3,000 people, well, to be more specific, 2,992 people started jumping around like complete lunatics. And then there was a couple of Irish people and a couple of Germans. The Germans were in the corner saying, "What is this?" I started backing up as far as I could to the closest exit. I bumped into somebody with ginger hair and freckles. You couldn't make this up. He couldn't have looked more Irish if he tried. And he looked at me and said, "What the F is this?" I said, "I just want you to know I didn't use my money to be here." He said, "Forget the money. I've already written this off." He said, "I know what this is now. This is a cult. I've seen something like this on the Discovery Channel. Now I know how we're going to walk on fire. We're going to drink suicide tablets and they're going to drag us across the coals to get rid of the evidence." He said, "Will we just go for a pint? It is St. Patrick's weekend after all." I said, "Maybe." And while I was considering my options, Tony comes back on stage and he says, "By the way, those of you not dancing,
You're walking on fire tonight. If you don't do everything I say, you're going to burn.
I said, well, feck it, Tony, why didn't you say so? So off I went, jumping around the stage, jumping around, right? And this picture is from the official website. The official website. Actually, if you look closely enough there, if you look closely enough in front of that red arrow, get right into the screen, you'll see the exact moment when we touched. There it is, right there. That exact moment when we touched. Now, I felt that we had some kind of a different connection, right? He touched me in places that others had. Oh, that came out the wrong way. But basically, I felt like, wow, I have just touched God. My leprosy was instantly cured. What did I do? I texted my boss that night. I told him his services would no longer be required. I was going to go live with passion. I was going to go fake it till you make it. And guess what? 3 months later, I was completely broke. I ignored all of the advice that Tony gave about find somebody who's done what you want to do and pay them to become your coach. I said, no, sounds too salesy. I like faking it till I make it, right? So eventually I realized that, you know what, there is wisdom in what wise people say. So I went back to my internet business. Within 4 months, I was making $10,000 a month. Now I get to speak on stages across the globe, up to tens of thousands of people at a time, right? And I've created a company called the Rethink Academy, where our goal is to empower you to rethink and create an extraordinary life. So I speak about topics like productivity, time management, money, social media, advertising, branding, but it's basically to help anybody, to help ordinary, down-to-earth people to get a real-life education without breaking your purse or without breaking your wallet. Because the days of having to spend $50,000 to go to college to learn how to become unemployed, right? That can't go on. It's insane. It's an absolute scam, and it's been funded and just pure brainwashing is what's doing this. But it's time to make a change, and it starts with you and me. I've been speaking on stage with Tony Robbins for 5 years, 6 years now, which is incredible because I was the person in the audience. And this doesn't mean that you need to be a speaker, by the way. You can literally be hidden in the background, nobody ever know that it's you, and still make a fortune on the internet. And I get to meet some incredible people, like that's Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter. When we met, I was making more money from Twitter than he was. John Assaraf below him from The Secret, one of my great friends. We've toured Australia and New Zealand together. Robert Kiyosaki, of course, from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And who else? Let me move out of the way of this. Ladies, you've already spotted it, but God himself. Look at the size of his hand. It's the size of my entire chest. Sometimes, guys, you got to know what niche that you shouldn't really compete in. I don't compete in Tony's niche of how to live long-term, passionate relationships. I think he might have a not-so-hidden advantage over some of the rest of us mere mortals. But just as an aside, I've decided as a teacher and the product of 2 teachers, both my parents being teachers, to teach the entire next generation about how to become financially free, teaching them about how to learn how money works, how they can earn it, how they can grow it, how they can create it, how they can give back, how they can help others. And that was because one of the workshops that I run for entrepreneurs, a father brought his 13-year-old child, Salman, to the workshop. And the 13-year-old put up his hand and he said, Paul, can I share something? I said, please. He said, I've just made $190. I said, how long did it take? He said, 11 minutes. Every adult in the room had the same look on their face. It was like, you little bit, right? How dare you tell us that this stuff works? This absolutely works. It's literally child's play, right? And I've gone on to run events in South Africa to 55,000 teenagers over 4 days to teach them and empower them about how they don't need to fall into the same trap as many of us did as we grew up as adults. But the beauty of the internet is that it doesn't care how old you are, where you live, what race you are. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You get paid in line with how well you help and serve others. So whatever age you are, whether you're 11 years of age or 111 years young, this can work for you. Our youngest student making money is 7. We've people in their 90s making this work. So throw your excuses out the window because they're no longer valid here, right? Who's with me? Type in, by the way, I commit right now. If you're thinking, I'm committed to this, I'm going to show you now exactly how this is done, right? Because if you don't get excited about the results, you're certainly not going to get excited about the how-to. So I'm painting the picture for you before I give you the paint, and we're just about to hand out the paint right now. Runa here, for example, made $130,000 in just 4 hours. In 4 hours, and he came up on stage to give a success story. He was sharing his story, right? Now, how? Well, I'm going to full disclosure here. Anybody whose success story I shared, they've been to my workshops. My coaches run them. When they were ran in person in the UK and across the globe, it was $6,000 per ticket. The good news is, and it's bad news too, the bad news is we're not running them in person, but the good news is because they're not in person anymore, I'm able to make them affordable for absolutely everybody, okay? There used to be 3 days, and it's basically talking people through exactly what to do step by step in order to have a highly successful online business. But what's unique about my style is I teach you before you ever show up. In fact, we're starting on Monday, and you get login details, and off you go. You get access to everything in advance so that before you even come to the workshop, you're already up and running with your business as you so choose. You could do the whole lot before you ever show up. And that to me is critical to success, so that when you come to the workshop, you can ask all the questions that you wish because you'll already have a head start, okay? Janet here, again, not by any means one of my most successful students, but I like to use her example because in her late 50s, she started with her first Facebook ad. She spent $12 and she made $2,100 in 12 hours. In 12 hours. And you know what she did? She turned off the ad. She panicked. She sent a ticket to our help center and she said, I'm sorry, I panicked. I just don't believe this is legal. How can you possibly make over $2,000 in 12 hours? That's just what I make in a month. Well, slightly less than what I make in a month. And that's the kind of reality of the world that we live in today, right? If somebody else can do this, then so can I. That's what Janet always said. It's what you guys should start to adopt as an approach for you. In fact, she sent me a book in the post recently, and she said, Paul, thank you so much for changing my life. I'm now financially free, and I own 2 successful businesses at my age, all thanks to your guidance. Now, I want you to grab your phone again. I'm going to take myself out of the way here. This is the 9-step formula, the Rethink Social Media Blueprint to creating a highly successful online business. So I'm going to put this up here for 10 seconds to give you a chance quickly to take the picture, okay? Please take a picture quickly of this, save it to your favorites so you can come back to it later. I won't have time to go through all of the steps today, but I'm going to do my utmost to go through enough that you really get a great feel for how this works, okay? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'll come back to it a little bit later in case you missed that, okay? And I'm going to do a recap of what we've talked about so far, okay? We're about halfway in now. Step 1, pick a niche that's guaranteed to work. So I asked you to do that already, whether it's health, wealth, or happiness. Secondly, target the right people then within that niche. They come hand in hand. It's called traffic, is the technical term for people online. That allows us to then build a database or an email list. Then we want to automate the process of making that money. So now we're going to be moving into these steps. And the fourth and most important, without a shadow of a doubt in making this work, is ongoing support. How we learned how to walk, how we learned how to talk, how we learned how to read, how to write, how to ride a bicycle, we got shown by somebody who knows how to do it. For some reason, when we become adults, we forget that that is the formula to success, and we try to figure stuff out for ourselves. And when it doesn't work for the first time, we give up, right? Because we're surrounded by people who want us to give up. I'm willing to bet that many of you are the weirdos in your family. I'm willing to bet that some of you have had to tell a little white lie today, and you haven't told the truth that you are actually watching a training about building an online business right now because you know your partner, your friend, your brother, your sister, your sibling, your father, your mother, your son, your daughter would say, come on now, come on, seriously, you're really going to go for that? Oh, while they're actually browsing their phone themselves and buying stuff on the internet. That's the irony. I want to applaud you for being the weirdo, because you're probably being told all the time, why aren't you just grateful for what you have? Oh, there's people starving across the world, and for some reason you always want to have more money. You should be proud of wanting to be more, to do more, to have more, to give back more, to leave a legacy, to do something meaningful and purposeful in this life, and you should not have to apologize for it. And the internet gives you that chance. And that's exactly how I felt, but I just didn't know how it was ever going to happen with a job. And the thing is, It absolutely can happen. In fact, some of my clients you'll have heard of, Johnson & Johnson and Booking.com. I charge $10,000 a day consulting. When I started teaching, and this is what's really cool for you guys, I was charging $35 per hour. $35 per hour. And my mentor told me, Paul, you're so cheap. You are now in the starting stages of learning the most sought after business skill in the world. Not social media, but how to make money from social media. That's the critical difference. I started charging $35 an hour. Today, my one-to-one mentoring is $100,000. It's booked out solid for the next year and a half. I'm not taking anybody on, right? And that's what happens. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that when money is taken care of, your priorities completely change. I have 2 young daughters, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I want to spend time with them and see them growing up. What's the point in building a business to make this money if you can't spend it with those most precious to you? So here is where the news gets even better. In 3 months from now, type into the chat, 3 months. Type in me in 3 months. Me in 3 months. You in 3 months, you will be in the top 0.1% most knowledgeable people in the planet about how to make money online. 3 months from now, you'll be in the top 0.1% most knowledgeable people in the planet in how to make money online. How crazy is that? That quickly. Now, I know you're biting and chomping at the bit to say, show me, show me, show me. This is how, right? You've seen Google before, right? Right beside my head here, right? You go here when you have a problem and you type in a problem like, I want to lose weight. And what shows up? Websites offering you stuff to buy. And you become very familiar with this and we don't even see it as an issue because we see it so often. Now, however, what if I could show you a magical website that when you type in the problem, it doesn't give you websites selling you stuff. Instead, it gives you real people who have just said they have that problem. Type in show me, type in show me if you would love to see a magical website, and it's actually free, that when you type in the problem, it gives you people with that problem, not businesses trying to solve it. Well, I teach with my coaches all of the various social networks, but I'm going to convince you of this with the website and the social network you probably expect this the least from. Twitter. Yes, Twitter. I've looked right here, I'm typing in the exact same. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. You can see it right above there. And look at what shows up. Carla, I want to lose weight. Short and to the point, right? Linda, I'm watching the Meerkat Manor. I want the same metabolism as a meerkat. They lose 5% of their body weight overnight and need to eat lots. There you go, in case you thought you'd learn nothing new today. Caitlin, I only want 2 things, to lose weight and to eat. Denise, I only want 2 things in life, to lose weight and to eat. Those 2 should meet up. And if you scroll down, there are hundreds more people saying that they need to lose weight. Now, if you are at home right now and you are, like I was, so skeptical of social media, you think, and that is exactly why I don't use Twitter. Look, he proved my point. It's full of lunatics. What kind of lunatic goes to the internet and says that they need to lose weight? I understand, but you're thinking social media. It's time to rethink social media. The type of person that goes to the internet to explain to 350 million other strangers that they have a weight loss problem is somebody crying out for help. It's somebody with a problem looking for a solution. Type in, oh, if you're starting to see that now, like, oh God, yeah, of course. I mean, if they're willing to tell the world about the problem, maybe they're ready to do something about it. Now you might be thinking, oh, I wish I had a weight loss business because I could just sell my stuff to these people. I see what you're thinking, but let's go up one step further. You don't even need a weight loss business. Think about a brand that everybody is familiar with in that industry, like Weight Watchers. You can go to their website and sign up completely for free to promote their products. You put in your details, your bank account details, so they can pay you, and they give you a unique link that tracks back directly to you. So when you make sales from your clients, you get paid by Weight Watchers. You literally get paid by them to sell their stuff for them, even though they've put millions into the branding, they've put millions into the product creation and the success stories, and you get paid? Now, if I was you, I'd be thinking, hang on, this is unbelievable. What the hell? Have I waited too long? You could not be starting at a better time. Let's go to our friend Tony Robbins, right? He's on Twitter a while. He's got 3 million followers. This is why starting right now is the best possible time. If you learn how to use Twitter advertising with me, this is so crazy it almost should be illegal. Imagine for a moment if it was possible to get your message in front of his followers. How incredible would that be? Well, what if we could do one better? Twitter not only allow you to get your message in front of his followers, they will put it in front of what they call look-alike followers, people similar to the people that follow Tony. 92 million people that are ready to say, I want to give you my money, right? What do you think you sell to Tony Robbins' followers? Not your products, not your books. You sell Tony's products. You sell Tony's events. He's running online events right now where you will literally make hundreds of dollars per ticket sold. And all you're doing is letting his followers know that he's running an event and you get paid. And listen to the gremlin in your head saying, why isn't everybody else doing it? Forget about everybody else. Everybody else is busy running their own lives. The question you should be asking is, where has this Irish guy been my whole life? And how do I start doing this before anybody else finds out about it? And it gets better. You can pay so that you get clicks directly to your page where you give something away for free. Or even better, where it says conversion. That means you only pay after you get a result. So if you're sending somebody to a sales page, you only pay Twitter after you've made a sale. In other words, you make money first and then you pay for making that money later. If you're a business owner, you're going to say, Paul, that's not even business. I agree. One of my accountants said to me, he said, Paul, you don't teach business. He said, you teach magic. I said, what do you mean? He said, for me, he said, I've had hundreds of clients. Most of them go out of business. He said, for me, business is about going to the bank, writing your first work of fiction called your business plan. You don't believe it. The bank manager doesn't believe it, but they're going to give you the money because that's what the banks do. They give money to people who they know will continue to need to come back to them for the rest of their lives. He said, well, what you do, you can set it up straight away. You can test it immediately. If it's not going to work, you find out the same day, and then you scale it. I said, I know. But he said, literally, you start with $1, you can turn it into 12, then that $1 can become $10, $20, $50, $100, and you can do it over and over again. I know, I said. What are you doing about it? He stopped charging by the hour, and he started creating products and promoting. He started promoting the softwares of companies that he would have been referring to, like Sage Software and Xero and Intuit and these accountancy softwares. And now he's making money from that rather than his primary service. You know, when your accountant changes their business model, that emotion has nothing to do with it. Type in magic into the chat if you are starting to see what's going on here and how incredibly different it is to what you know, right? Here come all the magics. Wow, very cool. Well, it gets better. It gets even better. Right? You can get your message in front of anybody based on the keywords they say. For example, I want to lose weight. Your message can be in front of them. I want to find a new boyfriend. Put your message in front of them. I want to get a cure for insomnia. You can get your message in front of them. What's your message? The best-selling product on insomnia. I want to stop smoking. Get your product in front of people looking to stop smoking. Ad followers is where you target the followers of other people. You can target people based on the television show that they're watching. So there could be a sports event on. There could be a cricket match, let's say, between South Africa and England. And you could be selling the jerseys of both teams to both sets of supporters at the same time, and you've never knitted or sewn a day in your life. Think about it. The world has completely changed, and most people are not realizing the opportunities that sit in front of them at this very second. You don't need to be creating the stuff or any of that stuff. You just give them to other people. Sell to them what other people are looking for. What if your business isn't doing this, right? Like, look at what you're learning here and how far it's going to put you above the rest of everybody else. By the way, type into the chat right now. If you think I might be able to help you just a little bit, type into the chat right now. Please help. Please help, Paul. If you think I might be able to help you just a teeny weeny little bit with your business. Now, I'm only getting going, right? Who would like to target just wealthy people for your business? You just want to put your ideas in front of wealthy people. Well, let's look at this. You can target people based on their home ownership, whether they own a home, 23 million, or whether they're renting a home, 4 million, whether they're in the market to buy a home, the type of pets that they have, the characteristics of their house, the value of their house, whether they own cats or dogs, their credit history, credit worthiness, excellent, 11.6 million. When you run out of those people, very good, 6.2 million. What type of financial services do they have? Well, how much discretionary spending do they have? In other words, how much spare money do they have, right? What is their net worth? Look at this, net worth. 100,000 to 1 million, 1.82 million people. Net worth of $1 million plus, right? 88,000. Net worth between 1 million and 2 million, another million people, right? Now you might be asking, but how do they know this information? That's like asking, how does the internet work? How does the electricity work, right? Why is the sky blue? The answer, it makes no difference to the amount of money that's going to end up in your bank account. The question you should be asking is, how do I start doing this today, right now? I don't want to delay another second. And ladies, affluent single men, 768,000 of them. Who's that? Men who do not have children, tick, who have income over $75,000, tick, tick, or a net worth of over $250,000, tick, tick, tick. Ladies, you can close down those Tinder accounts right now. No more swipe left, no more swipe right. Get straight onto Twitter and find yourself your soulmates, plural. There's lots of them, right? Who needs this in their lives right now? Type into the chat, I need this now, if you know you need this, right? This is completely the opposite of what you've thought about social media. It literally is time to rethink it all the way up. With Facebook make it so easy for people to leave their contact details that they don't even have to type their name and email address. Facebook do it for them. Look, the person presses a button once, Facebook entered a name and email address for them. The person clicks the button a second time, click in your list. $1 per person per month, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You either get targeted by these people or you do the targeting. You either help others get rich or you decide, I'm going to get rich. That type of ad, by the way, is called a lead generation ad. In case you're wondering what it is, that's a lead generation ad. Okay, you can see it just there above my head. Absolutely incredible. We get CVs or resumes from people for less than $1 with that type of ad. And the price of ads right now, this is unbelievable. It's less than $1 to get started on Facebook. It's 1 cent to get started on Twitter. Because of COVID and because it's wiped out so many small businesses, you are now getting prices that were around 4 years ago because the competition, most of it has been eliminated. So you are so fortunate. At least there's one silver lining with COVID, that it means you can get started now and learn it for a fraction of the price that you would have if you had started just a few years ago, right? That's what's crazy. And again, if you have your own products and services, great. If you don't, great. It actually doesn't matter. If you want to be to the forefront like I am, or if you want to be hidden in the background like I am now and nobody ever knows it's you, this will work for you too. By the way, my Facebook and Twitter advertising training is online. It's $3,497. I'm going to advise you not to go there and buy it because I am going to help you significantly by the end of this training today. And I'm going to make you a promise right now. I'm going to make this affordable for absolutely everybody here, provided you're older than 17, 18 years of age. What I have for you here today has money back guarantees. There's no risk whatsoever, and it's going to be less than what you pay for a cup of coffee a day. Now, there's a promise that I'm going to keep and that you want to be here for. Instagram, I haven't even mentioned it today here. This is one of our coaches. He came to the workshop with his mom. He ended up quitting his job as a teacher. He made $26,000 in a single hour from Instagram. Vishal here, same story, came to the workshop, ended up quitting his job. He made $55,000 in 3 hours from Facebook Messenger. These tools you have on your phone, you're getting used by them rather than using them. And this works for absolutely everybody. As I said before, I'll say it again, the internet doesn't care where in the world you are from. It's all about how you use the internet. In case you think you're busy, Alfred here worked 60 hours a week as a medical professional, right? Did the course, did the workshop, sent us a message on Skype saying, hey, Paul, just had another milestone, made $200 in a day before the workshop. When he came to the workshop, he was making $350 per day. That's $127,000 per year on the side of his job for somebody that's busy. You can do this in half an hour to 35 minutes a day. James here, $2.5 million since starting in November 18. The sky is quite literally the limit for you here, right? Who would like 10% of that? Who would like just even 1% of that, right? It's like winning the lottery without having to buy a ticket, because you literally do not need luck. You follow the process. Who wants this? Type into the chat right now, I want this now. If you want these results in your life, let your conscious know, your subconscious, your unconscious, let them all know that looking at other people and wondering why other people have a better time of it and looking enviously at others and missed opportunity, it's all in the past, right? That's all in the past. Is what you decide to do today is the beginning of your new life. My job here today is simple. It's to push your buttons so that you press these buttons on the keyboard, because the difference between you and somebody making millions on the internet is the sequence of the keys that you press on those keyboard. It's time to learn that new sequence. And as I said, coming to the workshop will be critical to your success. Tickets are normally $6,000. We have a massive waiting list in place for the in-person training for whenever that opens up, or if that ever opens up again. However, the good news is they are now virtual, and I'll be talking about that in a little while. So niche, tick, social media. Now you know how to rethink social media. Next step, how do you get people's contact details? Well, the great news about this is the softwares that you need for this now are completely free. Literally, completely free. You can build your list. You can give away whatever it is that you like for free. We can help you with that, of course, as well. And then it comes down to, how do you make money in an automated way by giving people what they're desperately looking for? You automate your sales machine. Now, here's a self-portrait. But Paul, how do I sell other businesses' products? I just don't understand that. What I say to people is, think about when you go to the supermarket. When you go into the aisle with the milk and the cheese, do you go in and the cows are there waiting for you and the sheep are there waiting for you? Of course not. It sounds ridiculous, right? The supermarket doesn't milk the cows. The farmers do. You buy the farmer's milk from the store. When you're buying chocolate, when you're buying washing up powder, when you're buying clothes, you're buying them through a supplier, not the manufacturer. It's really easy to understand when this is what you think about every day. It's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I do in the supermarket. I don't buy Walmart's popcorn or their washing up powder or their milk, right? You buy it directly from the owner itself, right? And you can do exactly the same. You can sell anything that's available to buy on Amazon. Like, I don't mean buying products from China and putting them online. No, I mean literally, if you want to buy my book on Amazon right now, what's even better is you could sell my book to yourself on Amazon right now. Literally, you can start making money today by selling products and services that are already online. Anything on eBay you can be making money from. The world's best training courses, events like Tony Robbins, you can sign up for free and sell his tickets. He does all the work. You make thousands of dollars. You can, of course, create your own products, and lots of our clients go on to create their own products too. In fact, the first promise I will make to you today is this: you will save more money in the next 3 months, way more money in the next 3 months, just by how you spend your money differently than you'll invest in this training with me. You will literally save way more than you'll invest. But who's here? No one's here just to save money, right? I bet you want to make nice, profitable sales as well. So like, what about high profit products where you could make $600 per sale or $1,800 per sale or even up to $4,000 per sale, right? How about that? Well, you can do that as my client by promoting my products if you wish, right? We give you all of the assets that you need. You can literally, we'll give you your link, you give us your bank details, and you can promote my stuff, assuming you love it, which of course you will, and it's only for my clients. And you can just be lazy and just make money by promoting my stuff. Why would I do that? Because matchmaking for me is the best business of all. Just let somebody else do the work and you get paid. So let's take a look at how my morning begins, right? I don't start by checking social media. I check by starting how many sales came through last night while I was sleeping. So each circle here that says $997 is a sale of our online membership site. One of the ones that we have is $997. It's completely passive for us. No support with it, no workshop or anything, just 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997. Sometimes people say, Paul, do you ever get tired of saying 997? I say never. I never get tired of saying 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997, 997. These are all lodgements overnight into a bank account, mine. How many of you think you might have trouble sleeping if you know that this is happening while you sleep, right? Type in me. How many of you think you might be able to kick your caffeine addiction when you know that this will put the pep in your step first thing in the morning, right? It's a whole other way of living, because it doesn't matter if you're awake or asleep, the money comes in, but the secret to making money while you sleep is doing something valuable while you're awake, right? That's what you need to learn. So for example, this is what happens in individual days: $53,000, $123,000, $139,000, $109,000. I literally only update these every couple of months because you can literally go in anytime, any day, any week and see hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Let me go on and show just a few more. Back in the middle of COVID, just to show you, right? Talk about a COVID-proof business. 232,000 in July, 240,000 in June, 578,000 May, 493,000 April, 329,000 February. Now, the people that will try to talk you out of this probably won't make this amount of money in a lifetime. Why would you deny yourself the opportunity to learn how to not just get this by luck, but to create this? The average family in the US spends over $1,000 a year on lottery tickets, right? Why should luck have anything to do with this? The difference between a dream and a goal is putting a plan in place. And I challenge you today to start by putting a clear plan in place that this becomes a reality for you. But remember now, the internet is an SCAM, a systemized cash accumulation machine. Yes, maybe you were right all along, but my advice to you is don't get into an argument with people anymore. It's their lives, it's their journey, it's their story. Don't even tell them. This is about you getting results. This is about you embracing this. I get that you've done courses before. Some of them you haven't finished to completion. I was the same. I am here as a student who went through the exact same process to tell you I will ensure that this happens for you. That's the 4-step process. But what you need is help. You need support. You need somebody on your back to hold you accountable, to answer your questions, to hold your hand, and to support you, almost like a child learning how to read. You can't expect a child to learn how to read without teaching them the alphabet first, and then words, and then giving them feedback, and then supporting them, and then helping them. But unfortunately, as adults, that's what we attempt. That's how we're expected to make a living. It's not your fault. The educational system was not designed to set you financially free. It was, in fact, quite the opposite. It's what you're earning right now today is a direct result of what you currently know. That's all. It's what you learn from today is what's going to get you the results that you want from now on. Today is that seminal moment. Today is when everything changes, and there is no secret behind success. Read the books of any famous successful business owners, successful sports people. They all say in their start of their books, I want to thank my coach, right? We need to be shown how. Climb up on the shoulders of somebody who's been there, done that, has a better perspective, so that instead of focusing on the hurdles, you can see the finish line. You've got somebody that's been there, done that to support you. Because if the people around you are who you're listening to for financial advice, there's only one place you're going to end up, and that's the average of them. It's time to learn from people who have been there and done that. 99.6% of people on the planet are not millionaires. Tune out to their financial advice. Tune in to the advice of those that are doing this. Now here, I have some incredible news for some of you. Now I know there's hundreds of you on the call here today, but for those of you that act quickly, I'm going to warn you now. Start warming up your fingers. Start warming them up, because when I say 3, 2, 1, go, you better be ready to go, because I literally only have a number of spaces available, but I'm giving you plenty of notice to get ready, okay? We do support through coaching and mentoring, and we are running a 4-day live workshop, and I am personally the head lead trainer, training coach at the workshop. In person, they're either 2 days or 3 days. In online, I'm going to do it for 4, because not only are we going to talk about how to create a highly successful online business, I'm also going to show you how to free up the time to do it. I'm going to talk about your finances. I'm a qualified financial advisor. I will show you not just how to create more money and earn more money, but how to keep it, how to grow it, how to invest it, how to have the mindset for success, all encompassing everything you need, all included in one incredible life-changing program, which is also accredited by the CPD, Continuous Professional Development, the CPD Standards Office, right? This is truly a stamped by the and qualified as fantastic education, certified, but most importantly, that would show you how to take ownership of your financial future and your financial destiny. By the way, when you sign up today and pay in full, I'm going to give you my mindset mastery training completely free as a bonus. It's online for $2,000, but when you pay in full today, that's going to be included also. And again, remember what I said to you, I'm going to do you an incredible deal where you're going to get this for less than what you would pay for a cup of coffee in a day. That's my promise. Luke here, another fantastic example, says, "G'day, Paul." He's Australian, by the way. "I earned $7,000 last week. It's going to be over $8,000 for the first time next week, apologies. Who would have thought this was possible a few months ago? I've already paid my parents back for the loan. They think I am selling drugs. LOL." I just love that line. He sent me an email more recently saying, "Hey, Paul, I had my biggest sale, so you know as well. Made over $100,000 worth of sales in a day. Loving the journey." We had a catch up more recently. He made $3.5 million across 19 and 20. And this is not somebody who was technical. This is somebody who told me on that call that he did not even stay in the hotel when we rang the workshop. He actually slept in his car outside because he couldn't afford to stay in the hotel. Don't let financial constraints stop you. When you see your investment today, you'll see why that is the case. Today is a whole new journey for you. If a 13-year-old can make $190 in 11 minutes and is nowhere near having the record for children at our workshop, and this is the adults workshop, Kiana here made $13,000 in 2 days at the workshop. This is literally child's play. I'm taking care of your kids and teens, helping them how to do this. My question to you, though, and my challenge to you is this: who is ready? Type in "I'm ready." Type in "I'm ready" if right now you know you are ready to get started for literally pennies on the dollar here, less than what you'll spend for a cup of coffee. That's my guarantee to you over on a daily basis, right? To learn what it is you need to do to change your outcome forever. Well, here is my personal official invitation for some of you, okay? Unfortunately, I can't have you all in, but I am telling you right now. And again, get ready, warm those fingers up, because when I say go, you need to go. Here's your invitation to come work with me personally. The best way to succeed online is go learn from somebody who's been there, done that, and learned it exactly in the same position as you were when you started. I assume you know nothing, by the way, like I did, and we take it from there. Now, I am going to give you way more here than you will ever need, but I just want to make this so incredible that it's next to impossible for you to say no to. And you have absolutely no risk whatsoever with this except not doing it. We start on Monday live. If you cannot make it, there's absolutely no problem. It will be recorded. I will then be drip feeding 4 more trainings to you in the lead up to the workshop. That's a total value of $997 starting this Monday, live with me. If you can't make it, it will be recorded. 2, the workshop itself. You have the dates written down. Get them ringed on your calendar. If you have a funeral on those dates, cancel it. This is more important than death right now. Cancel it. You are going to this workshop. By the way, if those dates don't work for you, still sign up today and we will get you later dates in the year. Plus, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. We run this across the day in different time zones to make sure we cater for no matter where you are in the world. Like we had South Africans, we had Australians and Americans all on at the start today. Number 3, if you're a little bit nervous about the technical part of this and about building like and the squeeze page behind me, for example, we'll build it for you, right? We'll create that for you. And so you don't need a web designer or anything like that. In fact, the tools are completely free. The tools are completely free. That's a question people have. Paul, what hidden costs are there? None. None. There's no hidden cost. The only cost is advertising, and that's for less than $1 to get going, right? So that's going to be built for you too. We'll obviously show you how to do that as well. Number 4, you have the thing that I am most proud of in my business is our help center. We have 97% plus customer satisfaction rating consistently. Our average client is 52, 53 years of age, not technical, not experienced on social media. So it shows you how much time, effort, and care we put into supporting you. So much so, we work 7 days a week. I have 11 full-time staff in there supporting you around the clock every day of the week. It is incredible. But I do that because my job is to make your job easy. Your success quantifies our success, right? Your happiness is what this is all about. That's a total value of $4,000. You have a year's access to our help center, and we will support you every step of the way. No such thing as a silly question. No such thing as, oh, you're going too slow. We will help you, support you every step of the way. Number 5, I am going to give you, please type this into the chat, lifetime. Type into the chat, lifetime. I'm going to give you lifetime VIP access. Lifetime VIP access to all of the training that you need from Twitter, Facebook ads, LinkedIn, how to rank a video on the first page of YouTube in less than 60 seconds, how to use Blogger and blogging without ever writing your own content, how to send emails, and how do you write emails if you don't like doing it, where do you find the products to sell, how do you get somebody else to do all of this for you? Right, I will literally show you how you can get somebody to do all of this for you without you having to do the work. You learn it once, and then you have other people do this for you forever, like I've done. $13,000 worth of value, lifetime VIP access to the membership site starting next week, and we drip feed all of the training to you step by step, every step of the way. You have it forever, forever. You know, 6, we won't even stop there. We are going to give you live coaching calls. We'll show you how to make up to $4,000 from a single sale. We will help you every step of the way, get your questions answered in person, hold your hand through the process. That's another $2,000 worth of value. Again, nobody but anybody includes this level of support for the investment that you're about to make. Now, in case you have a child or a teen in your life that's important to you, we are going to provide a half-day online training for your child or teen that they can access from this coming week, right? This coming week, they will be getting access to this, and it will show them how to start earning money from an online business that they can set up within 24 hours that can be making money within 48 hours. It will show them how to set up a saving system that they'll never have to worry about money and how they can take advantage of compound interest. It will show them how to give back and how to set goals and how to stop worrying about, you know, the things that they're not good at. It's absolutely incredible. The 997 evaluation is ridiculously conservative because this is truly life-changing and insight into a whole new world for your grandkids, your kids, your nephews, or your nieces, and they can all watch this. No problem with that. So let me recap. The live session this Monday, 4 more web classes drip fed to you, a ticket to the 4-day workshop. You already have the dates written down. If they don't work, let us know. The opt-in page done for you, a year's support from our help center, 7 days a week. Lifetime access to our membership site. 6 other bonuses that I didn't even mention because I don't have the space. Live training, plus the half-day online for your teens and kids. That's a total value of $30,000. Well, I remember hearing that when I went to that first ever training that I went to, and I said, that's weird. Why would you not just charge $30,000 if that's the real value? For me, the real value is what have people actually paid for this training. Well, when I launched this training and we ran it in a workshop in Heathrow Airport in London, and it was a 2-day workshop, it was $9,497 plus $127 monthly for support, and we sold hundreds of units at that price. But sometimes your luck is just in. Sometimes I'm not a big believer in coincidences. Sometimes you end up in the right place at the right time because you don't need to travel. You don't need to get on a bus, a train, a plane. You literally can do this from home. This works for everybody. Start getting ready right now. I'm just about to give you the most incredible offer you're ever going to see. It's not going to be 9,497, not even close. In fact, I won't give you 20% off, not even 40% off. not even 60% off, right? That would be $3,997, which many of you may have seen me speak across the globe and selling at that price point. Not today. I won't even give you 80% off. If you go right now, I am going to give you over 95% off. There's the link. I'm going to get out of the way. You need to go right now. Go right now to the link, right? You can see the price. You need to go right now to the link. Everything I talked about is included in there for that. And in fact, if you go right now, I'm going to add in some act now while I'm live bonuses. What I'm going to do is this. If you get in right now, I'm actually going to knock another 100 off right now, an additional 100 off, right? So get to that link right away because it's a one-time payment, right? Just a single one-time payment. You need to get in right now. Okay, you see the link on the screen. The link is in the chat. Please go right now, now, because it is literally first come, first served. If I was in a room with you, you would be in getting people trampling all over you at the back of the room. So you don't have that discomfort, thankfully, but just be careful. Type your credit card details in carefully, because if you mistype them, you're going to go back to the end of the line. So some of you, I can see lots of you are struggling to get in right now. Just refresh, and then go in and put your details in. By the way, when you get in, I know because this is such a cheap investment for you, I know many of you are actually thinking, you're thinking a lot more than this, especially when the membership site alone is $997 online, as you saw. I give you the option to upgrade if you wish to work directly with me, right? I'm $2,000 an hour to work with, okay? Now, you don't have to do this, but when you get in, if you would like to upgrade, you can, okay? So have a think about that, okay? You don't have to. It's just if you'd like me to work with you directly, you know, obviously, it'll be amazing if you could work directly with me, just you and me. In fact, I've been thinking about this, and what I'm actually going to do here is something crazy. Instead of it being $1,997, when you get in right now and pay in full, I am going to include a one-to-one with me completely for free. Yes, completely for free. Go to the link right now. If you get in right now, right, I am going to include a one-to-one with me. Yeah, no catches, one-to-one with me. Do the training, go to the workshop. We'll organize a time that works for us. One-to-one with me. This is $2,000 normally. I am going to include this today as a special for you. And again, you're getting an additional 100 off by just joining right now while I'm speaking. So you can fast track your results. You get direct contact with me. And that's not all. I'm going to add in a second bonus here right now. Who would like to bring somebody with them for free to support them, whether that's their husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, or your kids, right? Who would like to bring one of them with you? Type into the chat, me, right now, if you would love to bring somebody with you to support you on this journey. Well, I've just created a problem for you, because now you need to think about who is that special person in your life, because I am going to give you a second ticket to the workshop. Yes, for the same investment, you are getting a second ticket included, for your investment. Yeah, crazy, I know, but you know what? It doesn't cost me anything extra, and it does benefit you enormously when you can bring somebody with you to support you on this journey. Same link, if you've already got in. By the way, huge congratulations to all. I can see now all the sales. Congratulations to all of you getting in. If you're getting in right now and you're paying in full, you're getting that one-to-one with me. Amazing. Well done, everyone. Stuart, Ibuka, Elizabeth, Brazida, Leonard, Franklin, Doreen, Vianney, Martin, Wilma, William, Irina, Sturgay, sorry if I butchered that, Marion, Rihanna, have you just joined? And again, this is what you're going to see when you get in there. You'll see there's also a pay plan available. If you need to use a pay plan to get in, use the pay plan to get in. But if you don't, and you want to get the one-to-one with me, you can take that opportunity up. But you will need to have paid up your PayPal and your pay plan in full, of course, before you come to the workshop. but you will get access like everybody else starting on Monday. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to be brought and redirected to this page, your registration page for this Monday's welcome web class. If you don't get that today, we will send you an email in the next 24 hours reminding you to register. And if you can't make it live, it doesn't matter. Please register anyway, straight away. And again, this is going to be, you're going to get your discount with the certificate. You've got the dates there. It's valid until tonight, midnight. However, the one-to-one with me expires the moment that I finish speaking right now. Okay. And again, if you get in right now, this also will finish the moment I stop talking. You get an extra $100 for an acting right now bonus. Okay. It's a one-time payment. That's it. One-off. That's it. Pay once and you have this for life. Bonus 3, yes, there is even more. Warren Buffett says the #1 rule in investing is to never lose money. Well, I can tell you one thing, that ain't going to happen for you, because I'm going to give you a 100% money back guarantee. This is how it works, right? I will give you your full investment back, right? I will literally wire it to you directly. I will give it to you directly. How? All you need to do is to refer 2 people. You refer 2 people to our team. We'll call them up and we'll make the sale for you. You have nothing to do. Just refer them to us and we'll sell the tickets for you. They will not get the 2-for-1. They will not get the 1-to-1 with me, but they'll get everything else, which is an incredible offer. And that's because it's coming through you as a client. And I will personally wire you back your investment today. Why? Because I want to teach you matchmaking. Matchmaking is the best skill in the world, right? It's absolutely incredible, right? And you don't have to do any work. We'll do that work for you. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to put any time limiter on this, right? This is literally a lifetime money back guarantee. You recommend 2 people for us, we will give you, and they invest in the program at the same investment that you're making. I personally wire you the money back, and you have a lifetime to do that. You can do it next week, you can do it in 2 days, or you can do it next month or next year or 5 years from now. It's all good. And that's not all. I'm going to give you a second money back guarantee. If you decide for any reason to change your mind in the next week, the next 7 days, just let us know. I'm going to give you an email address before we finish. Just let us know, right? I'll give you your money back, because I've no interest in keeping your money if you're not going to do this. So you've got a week to jump in, get started, get going. And if you change your mind, we'll still bring you onto the live coaching calls. We'll show you how to make $4,000. I'm going to give you my blogging training and how to make money from blogging for free. In fact, I'm going to give you $2,000 worth of training, even if you change your mind in the next week. I told you that there's absolutely no risk whatsoever associated with you doing this, right? Literally none, because I want to make it the easiest decision that you're ever going to make in your life. That even if you decide to change your mind in the next week, we'll give you $2,000 worth of training just for saying thank you. Bonus 4, I thought I'd taken this out, but it's in there, so I better keep going. Yeah, and normally I give a selection between the Warren Buffett bonuses, but they're both in here. Okay, well, you're in luck. Warren Buffett also says that investing in yourself is the most important investment you will ever make in your life, and he wasn't selling a program. I am going to give your guest access to the entire program also. Look at what that works out at per day. You couldn't get a cup of coffee in any country in the world for that price. And the reason I break it down to that level and breaking it down to that ridiculous is to show you we don't think in money in these terms. That's the kind of money that you spend without even thinking about it, on something that goes in one orifice and goes out another orifice, right? It's time you started using these, your eyes and your ears, to learn how to create financial independence for the rest of your life with money that you won't even notice going, right? Absolutely insane. I told you at the start and I told you in the middle that it would be less than what you would spend in a day on a cup of coffee, but far, far less. If you're a business owner, of course, this is a write-off against your company, right? This is just a write-off. Your company pays for this. And if you're not a business owner, we'll be showing you in the workshop how you can set one up, how you literally be able to save yourself thousands of dollars every single year, starting now, by creating an online business. How you can travel abroad on your business, how you can stay in hotels on your business, how you don't have to pay for lots of your travel, how your Wi-Fi, your electricity, all those things big portions of them can be taken care of by your business. You need to be around people doing this and move away from those that aren't supporting you. And again, let me put that link up there. And those of you getting in, by the way, amazing. Thank you so much. Keep letting me know in the chat there. I'm not, my voice is nearly going, but yeah, look, I just want to make it absolutely no brainer for you. As I say, while I'm here speaking to you, an extra 100 off the one-to-one with me, all yours, one-time payment, or if you need the pay plan, go for that option. And then you've got the registration link to Monday's web class. Okay. Now, here we have it all in one slide for you, right? Every single thing there is for you in one slide. Okay, so we've got the live web class on Monday, 4 more drip fed to you before the workshop. Then the workshop itself, you have the dates, 2 of you are coming to that. The opt-in done for you. A year's support to our help center, 7 days a week. Lifetime access to our membership site. Live coaching calls, 6 more surprise bonuses. The half-day online training for your children and teens. Mindset mastery training with Dr. John DeMartini. I didn't even mention that. And John Asaraf. One-to-one call with me when you pay in full, and access for a family member or a partner or whoever to the entire program. That brings it to an incredible $77,000 worth of value. I mean, come on, what's there to think about here? If you're struggling to get in, of which I know many of you are, please just type in into the chat right now your name and your email address, so I can timestamp the time that you were actually looking for this, okay, so that I can know exactly when you were looking for that support, okay, so that we can make sure that we know that while I was on here live with you, that you looked for that, okay. So everything that's included here, I know I'm in front of some of it here, but you know, I want you to be able to see me while we're talking about this, and to give you that chance right now, a final chance to jump in, to grab this with both hands, because it will be the best decision that you ever make, and you have it forever. You have this literally for a lifetime, right? You will always have access to it. We're here to support you. Our success is your success. You know what I'm like right now. You either like my style or you don't, but you know, I'm not into the hype. I'm not into exaggeration or hyperbole. It's what you see is what you get, right? A very practical step-by-step guide. I know you're busy, so I'll be sharing with you in the workshop my insights from my book, the Rethink Time Management, the best-selling book, where I learned from 40 other experts on that topic and was the guinea pig myself to show you how to free up hours of your day so that you're not as busy running around and chasing and not getting results, where literally 30 to 40 minutes a day is all you need, and not every day, right? And in that workshop, the most common words that we hear to describe it is truly life-changing. It truly is life-changing, and I don't say that lightly. But I've been to other workshops. I go to other workshops to learn and to study, and I, more than anything, to make mine the best that is out there. You know, and all of the team involved in promoting this training for you and having me here today for you, they've actually been themselves, right? And they absolutely loved it too, and they'll be the first to say it. So I really, really appreciate you being here for this training. If you have any questions or any queries for me whatsoever, type them into the chat now, so that I can go through them with you and answer any questions that you have. I know there's a little bit of a delay in the chat from what I see and what I'm asking, so just be patient. For those of you that can't get in, it's okay. I'm going to stay on live here for a little bit, and let me do a Q&A session with you here for a while and answer any of those questions coming in. And again, huge congratulations to all of you that have already got in. You know, massive round of applause to you, because even with the tiny investment that it still is an investment, right? Just enough to get you up and get you going and to get you focused, because your focus follows your money, right? So we want to make sure that it's enough of a pinch that you're going to go and get started and do this, and you get access right away, right? Monday we get started, you get access from Tuesday, you can get stuck in straight away. You get access to all of the training before the workshop, right? So you can be up and running with your business before the workshop even happens, so that you don't have to have it all done, but you certainly can. You'll have access to it all. Then you'll have 4 days. You can ask any questions that we want. We'll make sure that it's done in a way that no matter what time zone you are in the world, we can still support you across the world. We have a live session, then we were on the chat and supporting all of them. You can come on to any of them. It's completely up to you. So we serve you whether I said you're in Sydney, California, South Africa, the Middle East, Japan, Korea, Alaska, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we will support you, and that's how we've set this up to work for you. Okay, so let me see any questions that you have for me, Paul. Where does your income get reported? In your own country or the ones that you make the money in? So your income will be reported wherever you set up your business, Elizabeth. That's completely up to you. And by the way, you don't need to set up a business to get started, right? Get the money in first, right? And then we'll talk about in the workshop how to set up your own business, etc. It's as little as $10 to $20 in some countries. It's up to you where you want to set up that business, but I wouldn't overcomplicate that. You just get the money in first, get a business going first. But it would be the income is declared in whatever country you are in and whatever you're resident in, wherever you're domiciled. Great question. Paul, I am in my mid-60s. Do you think I'm too old? Who's that? Adrian. Absolutely not. And Adrian, I applaud you for being here listening to me, because you know what? There's not many people who in their 60s, 70s, or whatever age, to be honest, and even their 20s, 30s, 40s, will take the time out to come and put time and invest time into themselves in learning new skills, new ideas, new possibilities, new opportunities. But it's only those people that open their minds and have this open mind to learning new things that see these opportunities before they become the norm, right? Right now, we're in this incredible time where it's kind of weird to have an internet business. It's like the weirdo that's doing stuff online. What has just happened across the globe? People have been sent home, working from home. They're sitting in front of a computer. They're getting paid to sit in front of a computer all day, something they thought that was impossible to do. You can never make money from home. Now, the vast majority of the planet are making money sitting at home in front of a computer. The only thing is they're being paid by a boss. It's not too long, I feel, before people realize, why do I need to do this for another boss? Why don't I become the boss? Right? I'm already sitting in my office. I'm already pressing the buttons. I'm already getting paid from pressing buttons on a computer. Maybe it's time that I realized that I can do this. I'm already doing it. I'm doing every single part of it, right? So, you know, companies like Twitter have announced that they don't want people ever coming back to the offices. Remote working is the new way to work, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means it gives you more of an opportunity to be at home, to work from home, to have the facilities to create a full-time income from part-time on the internet. All that we know from all of the stats across the globe is that more and more people are using smartphones. More and more people are spending time on the internet every day. There's never been more money spent on the internet than right this very moment. There's never been more brown boxes from Amazon being shipped out across the globe than today, than right now. And it's those exact people that are like, no, God, no, not the internet. You can't make money off that. When literally, you know, they're making billions and billions every single day for other people on the internet. You already know how to make money on the internet. You're doing it for others every day of the week. It's time to learn how to go from being the consumer and the spender to being the producer and the earner. It's a simple switch. You need to learn how. Ideally, you get somebody who's doing it already. You listen to them intently and press those buttons. And as I said, my job is to press your buttons, to press those buttons, because that's what this is about. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel driven. I hope you feel motivated. I hope you feel excited. I hope you feel this tingle of excitement inside you going, finally, I got something. And you know why that's so exciting? Because there's no downside. There's no, what if I wake up and suddenly the markets have shut down? Doesn't matter. What's so incredible about my business is, let's say with cryptocurrencies, right? It's easy to get sucked in and get excited, and I'm not going to be pro or against it or whatever, any of that. But what I will say is, when you learn this model, you can just decide to get involved in the niche, for example, of investing, and you can sell the products of experts teaching people about cryptocurrency to the people looking to learn it. And you don't ever need to take the risks on the markets themselves. You just teach the education, sell the education, connect experts to people looking for it. And you can do it in any area, whatever the latest, greatest thing that's coming up. If you've got shiny object syndrome and you're constantly jumping from one thing to the other thing to the other thing, this is for you. Why? Because you can sell products in that shiny object. NFTs are the next big things. Like CBD oil was a big thing there for a while, and CBD products. NFTs are coming next. Psychedelics are going to be next. A whole stream of the next greatest, latest thing. And you can just decide, oh, why don't I just build a database on that and then sell the best-selling products about that to the people that want to know? Why do I need to keep getting sucked in, right? Because it's our natural way of thinking. Getting in the way, our ego is in the way, right? The ego is the enemy, as Ryan Halliday says. We got to move out of the way. Let the money flow. Type into the chat, I'm ready to let that money flow, right? Type into the chat, I'm ready to let that money flow. I certainly hope you are. Again, Paul, can you put up the full list again? Yes, absolutely. There, you can grab a photograph of it. The email address is in the bottom left-hand corner there as well for you. If you wish to contact us, if for some reason you can't get in right now, no problem. Just let us know. Or if you change your mind in the next week, that's the email you can reach out to us on. And again, it's only while I am on here live right now that I'm going to give you that opportunity to get that one-to-one with me when you pay in full. Let me see any more questions. Paul, thank you so much. I feel so inspired. Thank you. Wonderful. Paul, that was amazing. Can't wait to get started. You're more than welcome. That's Francisa. Wonderful. Paul, when do the children get access to the training? They get access from next week, right? So from next week, I'll explain on Monday's web class exactly how to access the training the next day, and in there it's going to be there. Okay, so literally that fast. So you can start insourcing to your kids instead of outsourcing. Turn them from liabilities into assets, and they're going to love this. I mean, they'll be delighted to work with you on this step by step, because this is what they know. This is normal to them. There's no steep learning curve about getting online and what the internet is, etc. Right? It's just totally normal. It's what they're very familiar with and used to. Okay. Let me see any more questions. Thank you. It's mainly thank yous and God bless yous. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I mean, look, success is what you get from what success is what you experience from what you get, right? But fulfillment is what you experience from what you give. And there's nothing like the fulfillment that I get when you just see the look in people's eyes when they get this, and the anxiety and fear and worry that they have in their mind's eye about the future, their own future, their kids' financial future. And it's the thing that they're so fearful of, smartphone technology, computers with their kids, is actually the tool that allows you to break free from that fear. It's kind of ironic, but in many ways it's not, I guess. It's often the things that we are scared the most of are the things they say we should face, because right there is the clue to solving the problems. It's just, remember, social media is designed to distract you. So, I don't want you will not be doing what others are doing on social media. You're using it in a completely different way to build your database, to find the products and services which will help you with to sell. We will actually pick your niche with you on Monday. Right? So you don't even need to do any thinking. We will pick the niche for you. We're getting started as if you're learning how to drive a car. We say, get into this car. Doesn't have to be your dream car, your Ferrari or your Lamborghini, but you don't do a test drive in your Lamborghini. You learn how to drive in a car that gets you from A to B. Once you can drive any car later. And I'm a realist. I'm about breaking things down into their simple components. Just do the right things in the right order. Let's learn how to walk before we start to run. Let's learn how to crawl before we can walk, because once you have it forever. You're never going to run out of products to sell, ever. How do I know that? Well, ask yourself, are you ever going to run out of things to buy? Of course not. It sounds ridiculous, right? So you're never going to run out of things to sell. So you literally have an endless supply of products and services that you can sell for the rest of your life. Let's say today was the 1st of January, right? And let's say it took you 6 months to get your online business set up. Right? And so the 1st of June, right? What products are people going to want to buy on the 1st of June? They're going to want to buy the products that are out on the 1st of June, not what's out on the 1st of January. But nobody knows what the products are going to be in June, right? But that's the beauty of an online business. You don't even need to know, but all you know is there will be plenty of products. And when you need to know, you'll know. Because there's always new products and services coming out every single day of the week, and you only sell the ones that people are looking to buy. So you can sleep soundly tonight knowing, thinking, oh, that's a completely different way of looking at things. Instead of being worrying and racking your brain about what am I going to sell? What am I going to sell? You just say, well, just sell what people are buying. How do I find that out? That's exactly what I'm going to teach you. How do I build my list? Find them on social media, offer them something for free, reach out to them and offer them the best-selling products, and we will show you the technical know-how of how to do that. You saw with Twitter how we literally targeted people based on where they lived, whether they wanted to buy a house, what type of pets they have, how much money they earn, what's their net worth, it's incredible. With Facebook, you can target people based on their postcode, based on their hobbies, based on when their anniversaries are coming up, where they live, when are their birthdays, who employs them, if they've been made redundant recently. Literally, are they single? Are they married? Have they kids under 2 years of age, under 4 years of age, under 6 years of age? Are they parents of teenagers? All that data is there for you to tap into, right? And unless you utilize it, you're just going to be targeted. Opportunity is always defined in the future when it's long gone. I'm here to open your eyes to the fact that this is sitting right in front of you right at this very moment. This device, you don't even need a license for it right now, right? You don't even need a license. That's all going to change. What an incredible time to get started. I would love if you started with me. I would love to be your coach. I would love to help you through this process and take you through it, because there's nothing to it other than pressing buttons in the right order. And I'm so appreciative of you giving me the time to listen to me, to share this opportunity with you in a way that I truly feel is a game changer for you. Okay. And if there's any more questions, just please keep them coming in here. Paul, can I choose the payment plan? Yes, there is a pay plan available. When you go into that link, there is a pay plan available. Let me just see here. I might actually go in here for a moment and show you what the membership site looks like. Actually, let me go in and show you what the membership site looks like so that you can get a real feel for exactly what you're going to be getting access to from next week. Okay, so look how easy this is. On the left-hand side are the list of the various trainings. So you start with introduction, start here. You just click on the tab, right? And you see me there I'll just press play. Okay, off I go and I explain exactly how to use the membership site, where everything is, step you through it step by step by step. And basically then you go through it step by step. So you'll have your live web class recording in here when you do yours, obviously next Monday. We'll have 4 more web classes drip fed for you here. Then we'll have magical mindset in here to make sure that this is going to work for you and happen for you absolutely every step of the way. We've got the blogging, free gifts, Facebook, they're all color coded. We have the modules in there for you, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, ClickFunnels, GrooveFunnels, Twitter, lots of extra bonuses that I didn't even mention. And then for any help, you just literally click on the support button and it brings you directly across in here where you have direct access to our team. Just click on a little icon there and it brings you directly to us. Okay, so it is just so straightforward, so easy that literally anybody that can make it onto this webinar and is able to engage with me and ask questions right now, you absolutely can do this, right? And just again, with the investment that you're paying, I just want to make it an absolute no-brainer for you. So let me see, any more questions? Paul, I don't have a card right now. What do I do? If you don't have your card, again, send an email to the email address on the screen here. That would be the best thing to do there, I would say. Who's that I was talking to? Brizida. Send the email to over there on the other side, on the bottom left, and just let them know that you don't have a card right now, but you'll be able to reach out first thing in the morning and we'll hold a spot for you. Okay, let me see any more. Thank you so much, Paul. Really, really appreciate it. Paul, I don't even have $50 right now. Who said that? Well, I won't name you in case you don't want me to name you. Look, if you don't have $50 right now and you're older than 20 years of age, you need to make some serious life decisions, right? There's something seriously going wrong, right? If you don't have $50 to your name. you've got a major either income problem or outgoings problem, and you need to put some rein it in very quickly, whatever it is, right? And genuinely, what for the sake of what you're investing today, versus college, versus degrees, versus the way you think about it, like you need to do what you need to do to get in. But like, what can I say? You need to sort your problems out, because if that is the situation and it's real and it's true, something's got to give. Because if you keep doing what you always did, you're going to keep getting what you always got. So, and that's just kind of some tough love. And I do feel for it. Do feel for you. I mean, obviously 100,000 in debt, but it didn't stop me from educating myself. Right? Not all money is spent equally. The big difference between people with money and without money comes down to one thing. People that are struggling with money use their time to buy money. People who have mastered money use their money to buy time. It's a massive difference. Most people don't know the difference and haven't been taught about the difference, but that's what it's all about. Pay for shortcuts, right? Life is short, very short, too short, some would say. So pay for shortcuts, because there's some catching up that needs to be done. You're welcome, Nikia. It's lovely. Thank you for the message. Yes, Dennis, you've a commitment on Monday. Will there be? It is recorded, absolutely, Dennis, and you'll get it the next day to your inbox. No problem. Yeah, Wendy, does this include if we? Yeah, Wendy, it's up to you. If you want to join again, that's completely up to you. If you wish to do the workshop, you're absolutely welcome to. No problem at all. How can I refer other people? That's Mohammed. Mohammed, I'll explain that on Monday. I'll go through that on Monday in the welcome web class with you as to how that works. Okay, and again, there's no time limit on that. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Mohammed. Okay, well, I think that's it for now in terms of the what I might do is I'll just keep an eye on the chat here for another while. But for all of you that got in, huge congratulations. Very, very excited for you all. Delighted for you. Let me just see. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if you do have any further, okay, Mary, you're stuck. Yeah, again, okay, this is your, in terms of last chances, just if you're not able to get in, please, right, take a note of the email address. One last time here, take a picture of this, take a note of that email address, send an email to it, please, right now, and say, look, I can't get in for whatever reason, or if you need a PayPal link or whatever it is, pop it in. Okay, we'll take care of you. Okay, there's lots of emails popping in still there now. Okay, we got you, Maria. We got you, Mary. We got you, Julianne. We got you, Marilia, Fanisa, Nikia. Okay, wow, there's lots of you that are still having trouble getting in. Just do a quick check myself to see, can I get in right now? Yeah, everything seems to be working. It just seems to be down to purely busyness, guys. By the way, there's way more than what I've done for first 9. I'm going to extend that out just to everybody that gets in right now while I'm chatting. Everybody that gets in right now while I'm chatting and pays in full, you will get all of the Act Now bonuses. Basically, getting that one-to-one with me. You get to choose on Monday whether you want to come. You have those written down earlier. We're also giving them to you in the chat if you have any questions. And I'm going to use this opportunity now one last time to say a huge thank you for this opportunity today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Thank you for all your lovely thank yous, etc. Really, really appreciate all of those. Thank you to my own team who are in the chat answering the questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on here in the chat for another few minutes and answer. There's a lot of questions that are kind of related to specific questions that people have. So let me answer those for you in the chat right now. And again, while I'm in here live, I'm going to keep the bonuses, the pay in full bonuses open just for the next few moments. Okay, and for those of you that have gone in again, huge congratulations. We'll see you on Monday. If you can't make it live, that is no problem at all. I understand that. But if you can, all the better. A couple of questions coming in also, I see on Paul. Can you confirm the prices in dollars? Yes, it's in US dollars. I do know quite a few of you are obviously in Europe, But yeah, it works in your favor that it is in dollars, because of course it works out cheaper for you that it is $497, not 497 euros, or indeed 497 pounds. So yeah, $497 regardless of where you are in the world. I want to pass on those savings directly to you. Okay, so thank you for that question. There was a few on that. But this is a great way to supplement that your income can continue to come in across the year regardless of whether you are busy with the job or busy with the current business. And that's why so many people are attracted to this all over the world, because, you know, regardless of the economies of where you live, this can provide permanent and full-time income regardless of whether you're doing it part-time or not. Again, about half an hour a day max is what's required for this. You may want to spend more on it, of course. You don't have to do it every day. You can catch up at the weekends, but it is something that truly anybody can do. You just have to, you know, press those buttons, as I said, press them in the right order. And my job today was to push your buttons so that you press those buttons on the keyboard, because you absolutely can do this. So thank you again. I really appreciate the opportunity. I will hang on in the chat just a little while longer, as with my team. And again, thank you guys, and we'll answer some individual requests and questions that are coming in around payments, etc., through the chat directly.